Good evening, everybody. Erev Tov, how are you? We just concluded a really enjoyable, meaningful, and fun program. It was first started off as very emotional because it was a service for Yom HaZikaron, which is today. And of course, I know in Israel it's already Yom HaAtzmaut, but over here it's just concluding Yom HaZikaron, a day in which we remember the fallen IDF soldiers. And so why was it meaningful? Because we said prayers, we remembered those who died, we spoke about, people got a chance to speak about their personal relationship and experiences in Israel. And before the program, I opened this up to everybody and I said, whoever wants to share, and we have many people who were in Israel, who lived in Israel, who were born in Israel, who's married to an Israeli, who has an apartment in Israel. A lot of people joined. It was really special. And then, my friends, something happened that really hits home, unexpected. Have you ever met someone that you don't know who they are, where they're from, and then when you go about your way and then suddenly one day you stop and you ask them, tell me, what's your history? And then you have a different understanding and appreciation of them. Well, there's a young family who just joined the community. I'll say their first names, David and Anat, with 3 beautiful children. They've really been just a great, young, loving family. Everyone loves them here. And they've added a great spice to our community. David starts sharing that he served in the IDF, Anat served in the IDF, they met in the IDF, and what he did, it was really interesting. And then he says, but my family paid the ultimate price. And I'm thinking, what could the ultimate price be? Did he lose a sibling or a parent or a child? Where was the ultimate price in war? Because he's relatively young. And he says, well, in 2003 in October, there was a very well-known terrorist attack that took place in Haifa at a restaurant called Maxim. Took scores, many, many lives. It was a female terrorist bomber. And he says that he's one of 3 boys, David says, and he has 1 sister. And this sister was married to a husband and a child. They had 1 child and they had a parent there with them in the restaurant. All of them died. And he says, the only girl in my family, and they took years, and he said him and Anat were just married and it took them years to really start understanding. He says, but I have no hate. I don't want to be here just remember with hate. I want to remember the promise and the hope that we have in our land. He's here temporarily, make some money because he works in pharmaceuticals. But I'm looking at this family and I'm thinking, they walk into shul, nobody knows the loss of a sibling, the loss of a only girl, only sister, with a husband, with a child, with a parent. It's like, who can imagine such? And then they walk about their life as if nothing happened, walking on strong, actively participating in a community. That's the beauty of Am Yisrael. That's the beauty of what happened here tonight, hearing the different backgrounds and the different stories from so many people. So allow me tonight to conclude with an equally but different emotional story that I'm very careful not to share too many stories about certain individuals because they ask me not to, and also because not only I respect that, but it's just the right thing to do. So I'm going to share a story about them, but without telling you who they are. That's the best I can commit to. So there was once this oldest daughter of a rabbi in a Rebbetzin who decided to go to Israel and study there for a year or 2, and the parents had come home, and she said, no, fast forward many years. She's in Israel, and she's starting to date. And she was introduced to a really nice guy, tall guy, maybe 6'4", 6'5", here from New Jersey. And she gets to like him, and then they start going out for a little coffee, getting to know each other. Anyway, fast forward a while later, after they're engaged, I ask her, this individual asks her, tell me, what was it? What was that moment that you saw something special, something different? When did you know? And the response I got was one that can only swell up a parent's pride. The response was that she said she went out on a coffee date and a discussion, and at the end, they were discussing the next date, if I recall all the specifics correctly. And as they're discussing the next date, he says, I would like you to come with me on Yom HaZikaron to the cemetery, to Herzl, Mount Herzl. So she said, okay, no problem. She escorts him, she goes there. She said, Abba, I see someone who lost a comrade In the Golani, they were fighting together, a friend, and somebody weeping over his friend's grave on the special day, Yom HaZikaron, and he wanted me to come here and be with him. Not only for the support, he wanted me to see what's important to him. And that really hit me, so I cannot imagine how it must have affected her. When you think about each one of us and the commitments that we make and the sacrifices we make, all of you serve, so many of you served in the army, so many of you lost loved ones in Israel, so many of you struggle because your family, you're here and your family's there and you want to be there. But at the end of the day, Israel is the miracle it is today because of each and every one of you. Because of every story, like David's sister, Aleha Shalom. Because like the friend who was lost and had another friend who says, I won't only remember you, but I will be there and defend this land each and every day. That's why I'm standing today before you, before this beautiful gift, which was drawn by a beloved member of our community, the Brenda family, Avi and Sharon. And the name of this has almost become the icon of the shul. When you walk in, you see this beautiful, magnificent painting. But the name of this painting, if you stand back, you can really see a lot of different, magnificent parts of this painting. But the name of this painting that really speaks most is up here. And it says, I want to make sure I can show it to you. It says, this mural, Tkumat Am Yisrael, painted with love by our proud members, Avi, Brenda, and Avi and Sharon. Tkumat, which means the marching on, the continuation of our people. Takum, we stand up, we arise, and we move forward. So on today, this very special day, I wish you all, Am Yisrael Chai, I wish you all of God's blessings, that when we hear stories of sacrifice, like David's sister and her family, when you hear sacrifices like this young man who passed away defending our land and our people, and the sacrifices of his friends and family who helped support it, then you know we're part of something special and something we can, we should, and we are very proud. I wish you an Erev Tov. I wish you a good day. I wish you a blessed day. And Be'ezat Hashem, very soon, we'll be able to go back to Israel to celebrate our smachot, our chagim, and our children. And please God, grandchildren. Amen. Laila Tov l'kulam. Todah.